You are a warrior in the garrison. Your head sits under the same lacquered helmet as hundreds before you, and a blue bead hangs from the collar with no explanation. You stand by the gate and feel "this is just the beginning." It began with a transfer order stamped in red and muttered at the magistrate's gate. The clerk with ink-stained fingers pushed the sealed band toward you and told you where to go. The machine runs on manifests, seals, and shifts. Ledgers sit stacked under a brazier, bronze stamps wait in a tray, and the quartermaster with a red cord checks weight against an unseen tally. Everything is owned, accounted, allocated. Are written in consequence, not ink. A late patrol loses rations. A failed escort forfeits a banner. A whisper against an officer removes your allotment. Your first assignment is an escort detail to the border pass, an official route logged into the manifest. The commander with a lacquered hat marks you as the second spear. You sign with a thumb impression and leave as the sky lightens. Daily matters of consequence are written in consequence, not ink. A late patrol loses rations. A failed escort forfeits a banner. A whisper against an officer removes your allotment. You watch a recruit's bowl taken away for showing up 5 breaths late. His hands shake as the ration is passed to another. You learn to be drill, stance, turn. Your spearhead never catches dust. You memorize the route markers and the spare mount at waypoint 3. You learn the ledger. Stamps mean leave denied. Blank bands mean temporary hold. A red smear means immediate recall. You count your tally tokens each night and hide one under your pallet. You learn supply routes and small tillip henships, trading a spare strap for extra oil, swapping a portion of a ration for a warmed blanket. Small transactions multiply. You become a node in the unofficial exchange network among the ranks. You build a network of. A stable hand with a dirt streak sleeve gives you an extra mount if you cover his log shifts. The baker outside the gate with flour-smudged hands slips you a crust for a cigarette worth of tobacco. The system tolerates small bribes because it is faster than paperwork. You are essential. Missions arrive, you execute, manifests close. By the time you are 10 rotations in, supply lines reroute through you. The quartermaster with a red cord asks for your tally to streamline allotments. You are essential. The commander with the lacquered hat assigns critical escorts to you. The armory's brass seal is placed on your stack when convoys pass. You feel the rare gravity of being counted as reliable. You rationalize trade-offs. A seized ration for a delayed convoy. A reported deficiency for a promoted handler. You tell yourself the ledger justifies order, efficiency, survival. You rehearse the words in the mirror of the duty, duty, duty. You remind yourself the blue bead is only a bead and that the network keeps your cot full and your name off bad lists. You rationalize trade-offs. A seized ration for a delayed convoy. A reported deficiency for a promoted handler. Your hands stamp manifests with clean motions, and your voice is calm when telling a family their parcel is late. The ledger does not ask why, only how much was lost and to whom the loss is charged. Then an audit ripple from the provincial office. Blank bands multiplied, deliveries frozen. The magistrate with a jade seal issues a decree carried by runners. Convoys are pulled, and the quartermaster's red cord comes undone in frantic knots. You stand in the training yard at the garrison, helmet damp, spear butt pressed into packed earth. You are recalled to the shrine to surrender the blue bead as evidence of allocation. A single object sits in the ultra-light. You place it down, and the shrine keeper with soot-streaked robes nods once. Centuries pass in ledger time as the audit decides the distribution of blame. Centuries pass in ledger time as the audit decides the distribution of blame. At the administrative hall in Loyang, a single audit placed you here. Your reads like an entry in motion. Bodies file past you in percussion rhythm. This is just the beginning. At the administrative hall in Loyang, a single audit placed you here. A hand slid a bronze seal into your palm, and a pouch of bamboo tokens was folded into your household's allotment. From that day, your movements answered the ledger's arithmetic. The machine is simple. Ledgers stacked like walls, sealed manifests with blank bands, a room of tally tokens shifting like a tide. The clerk with a red-stained thumb lays piles of bamboo tokens and listens for mismatches. Gates respond to stamps. A wrong sequence reroutes wagons. Your threshold arrives as an assignment from the command tent behind the line. Escort a sealed convoy to the Xiongnu border pass and return with signatures intact. The sergeant with a calloused palm pins a brass insignia to your sash and places a corded map token in your hand. The offer is framed as duty. Refusal is a different stamp. Exist as consequences inked into bodies and schedules. A recruit trades bamboo tokens to feed a fever child. The oversight is discovered at the checkpoint, and his black silk sash is cut and reassigned to the outer watch. Small kindnesses become liabilities under policy. You learn to polish the lamellar until the lacquer answers back like a ledger's shine. You inventory spears, check frayed tassels, and mark manifest blanks with tacit memory. Each clean plate reduces friction. Each notch counts. Each clean plate reduces friction. Each notch counts. You administer rations with the same procedural care. Bowl, spoon, tally, blank band. You hold checkpoints at first light and count movements by gate swings, not by faces. A bronze seal is passed to you for verification, and its weight feels like a verdict in your palm. A single misapplied symbol reroutes a wagon, and someone pays a gap. You escort sealed manifests through the armory, where helmets gleam like stamps, and through polishing rooms, where each stroke is an audit. You administer rations with the same procedural care. Bowl, spoon, tally, blank band. Men accept measures as law. They do not argue at distribution. Hunger becomes another reconciled line item. You escort sealed manifests through the armory, where helmets gleam like stamps, and through polishing rooms where each stroke is an audit. The armorer nods and replenishes your sash laces. The manifest tightens as supplies thin. Logistics is a ritual disguised as management. A red icon arrives folded into the edge of a courier's, an emergency audit from the hall. You are rerouted to reconcile a missing tally across 3 posts, and the hours blur into counting. Reconciliation is always someone else's deadline until it lands on you. 3 years in, the cadence hardens. Your spear is practiced so often it feels like an extension of the bronze seal. Favors are brokered in whispers. The broker with a gold ring trades a cloth pouch of bamboo tokens beneath helmets. Networks fill ledger gaps. The office door closes. Through the glass, she sees her file open on the desk. By the time you become essential, the bronze seal moves through you like policy. Command summons you to the hall for imprinting. No wagon turns without the weight of your endorsement. You are less a warrior than a living stamp and red pigment. An envelope with her employee number is taped to her locker. You stand before a long table of sealed ledgers and a tray of bronze seals. The clerk with the bronze seal stamp and a red pigment pad lifts the tool. The air smells of pigment and lacquer. This is how permissions move. Her shift has been moved, no one told her. A low bell marks schedule adjustments and consequences. Sealed manifests with blank bands slide under a glass case. A red icon seals a decision into place. You wait for your allocation to be confirmed. Dawn drills are ledgerized motion. Platoons move by the pattern of blank bars and red icons on a board. The long spear with a frayed tassel becomes a timing rod. You count steps the way clerks count tokens. Ration distribution follows manifests, not appetite. The quartermaster with a bronze ring measures bowls against sealed bands. A missing manifest means an empty spoon. Someone slides a bamboo tally token behind a bunk and the transaction is silent. Someone slides a bamboo tally token behind a bunk and the transaction is silent. Gates only accept tokens and seals. Maintenance is a logged claim of ownership. Every lamellar cuirass earns a mark. Every lacquered helmet gets a line in a manifest with a red dot. You learn that polish is evidence and evidence is property. Gates only accept tokens and seals. Guards at the border pass trade bamboo tally tokens from a cloth pouch for permission to proceed. A failed token sends a unit back down the road. You watch a companion turned away at the gate. A sealed decree arrives on a lacquered tray and rearranges schedules. The commander with oil-stained hands slides close chests of manifests and pins quotas to the roster by means of red icons. You sign for an extra inspection rota with a clipped nod. Auditors come in gray robes and dissect rotation. They unzip chests of sealed manifests and separate bands by red marks. A flagged band removes a person from the schedule. You watch handlers remove a rotation from circulation. An inspection finds a scuff and converts it into reassignment. The armorer with a soot-stained apron applies a smear of red pigment to a band and the spear becomes reassignable property. You hand over the long spear with the frayed tassel and keep your mouth closed. Offerings become ledger entries. Schedules tighten and portions shrink. You slip a bamboo tally token under a bunk to buy a bowl of rice for a night. The quartermaster with a bronze ring looks the other way. The traded token carries the weight of quiet compliance. Offerings become ledger entries. The priest with oil-stained hands stamps a blank band with a bronze seal and red pigment as a small bowl rests on a lacquered chest. Ritual legitimizes allocation. You lower the spear and hold still until the stamp dries. An unannounced audit snaps the machine tighter. Handlers rattle sealed manifests and a red icon is pinned to one stack. Rotations are redistributed like inventory. You're handed a folded assignment and the dawn reassignment begins. You stand in the training yard at the garrison while the sun breaks over stone. The drill is a ledger of spear up, left foot, right foot. The long spear's frayed tassel beats time. The armory master with a soot-stained apron watches your rhythm and the complaint in your shoulders becomes a recorded entry in the day. You trade the yard for the central armory and polishing room, where steel and lacquer live by schedule. You remove grime from the cuirass until the lacquer holds a flat, bureaucratic gleam. Sealed manifests sit in a tidy stack on the bench like quiet accusations. The bronze seal with red pigment waits in its cradle, and you learn how authority presses down on metal. Inside the command tent behind the line, the commander with an embroidered sash gives you a sealed manifest and a small parcel of tallies and crosses a line for you. The assignment is simple, spoken like a go to the border pass and process transfers, and force to seals. You take the parcel, the tent smells of oil and inevitability.